You're not lazy. You're not weak. You're not broken. You're just misdirected. You've been lied to repeatedly, quietly. Every man is born with fire, not just any fire, a primal force burning deep inside your chest. It shows up as desire, drive, hunger, the urge to move, to conquer, to create. It's not a curse. That's your power. That's your birthright. But from the moment you hit puberty, the world starts whispering in your ear, chase pleasure, chase women, chase validation. If it feels good, it is good. And slowly, without realizing it, you drift. You drift from your power, from your focus, from the man you were meant to become. They feed you dopamine and call it freedom. They hand you screens and call it connection. They show you bodies and call it love. They profit from your distraction. They profit when you waste your energy, because a distracted man is a powerless man. So what do? You chase, you scroll, you swipe, you release again and again and again. And each time you lose just a little more of yourself, until one day you wake up tired, frustrated, empty. Not because you've been doing something wrong, but because you've been doing the right thing in the wrong direction. You were made for more. You know it. I know you feel it deep down in the pit of your stomach, that relentless hunger. That voice that says, this isn't it. And it's not. That energy you feel, that fire in your belly, it's not just sexual. It's spiritual. It's creative. It's explosive. It's transformational. It's the fuel of kings. It's the spark that built empires, forged warriors, and sparked revolutions. It's the same force that powered minds like inventors, philosophers, visionaries, but only in the hands of the disciplined. Only when it's not wasted on pixels and parties. Only when it's harnessed, focused, and transmuted. This is the difference between living a life of quiet desperation and building a life of legendary impact. It's not about suppression. It's about transformation. You don't need less desire. You need a bigger mission, a higher purpose, a reason to rise when others sleep, a reason to train, to build, to strive, not for attention, but for legacy. Because when you master your fire, you don't just become stronger, you become unstoppable. And it all starts here with the choice to stop wasting, stop leaking, stop chasing, and start directing. You don't need a new life. You need to awaken the one that's been buried under years of distraction. That fire inside you is still there, waiting, ready, burning. You were made for more. Now it's time to become it. What if I told you the real boss up doesn't come from the gym, or money, or followers? It comes from your discipline. We're taught to chase comfort, to chase relief, to chase release. Let it out, they say. It's healthy, it's normal, it's natural. But is it? Or is it that the system wants you to believe that? Here's the truth no one tells you. Every time you give in to short-term pleasure, every time you reach for that screen, every time you press play on something you wouldn't want your future self to see, you're not just releasing tension, you're releasing power. You're teaching your brain to expect reward without work. You're training your mind to be lazy, to settle, to surrender. You think you're relaxing, but really you're rewiring your instincts. You're dulling your edge, you're dimming your fire, and afterward you feel it. That hollow feeling in your chest, the heavy fog in your mind, the subtle shame that you try to scroll away. It's not in your head, it's not weakness, it's your soul telling you the truth. You were made for more. You see, what they don't teach you in school, what they won't show you in your feed, is that sexual energy is creative energy. It's spiritual energy. It's visionary energy. It's the same power that writes books, that starts movements, that builds businesses, that changes history. And every time you waste it, you're throwing away potential. Potential that could have been shaped into strength, into clarity, into momentum. But when you hold it, when you choose not to chase that fake dopamine high, when you say no to what's easy and yes to what's real, something shifts inside of you. You start thinking clear, your focus sharpens, you walk taller, you move with a mission, you speak with weight, not noise, and people notice. Without knowing why, they feel it. They feel your presence, your power, your charge. Because you're no longer leaking energy. You're containing it. You're forging it. You're building pressure. And pressure creates diamonds. This isn't new. It's not a trend. It's ancient. It's primal. It's the way of kings, monks, warriors, and high-performing men throughout history. They knew that self-mastery isn't about avoiding temptation. It's about transcending it. Turning the same fire inward. Using it to scope your mind, your habits, your path. This isn't about fear. It's about freedom. Because the man who can control himself can control his future. You don't need to release. You need to rise. Hold it. Harness it. Redirect it. And watch what happens. You'll feel it in your eyes, in your voice, in the way people respond to you. You'll walk into rooms with invisible thunder, and because discipline speaks louder than desire, and purpose is sexier than pleasure. So no, you're not missing out. You're leveling up. One day of discipline at a time. One choice at a time. One inner victory at a time. The myth of release. It was never about freedom. It was about control. Theirs over you. But now you see through it. Now you take it back. This is what real masculinity looks like. Not consistent release, but powerful restraint. The boss up isn't found in what you take from the world. It's found in what you hold, in what you protect, in what you become. This is your power. Don't waste it. You don't have to suppress your desire. You have to aim it. This is the part no one teaches you. Not in school, not on social media, not even in most self-help books. You're not broken for feeling desire. You're not weak for being hungry. You're human. You're alive. You're wired to want, to chase, to conquer. But what if the problem isn't the fire? It's where you are aiming the flame. The world will tell you to suppress it, to numb it, to run from it, to shake it down, go monk mode, cut off all desire. But here's the truth. You don't need to run from your urges. You need to transmute them. You need to aim them. You need to redirect them. Not into fantasy, not into a screen, not into a shallow validation, but into purpose, into impact, into something bigger than you. Take that raw primal energy and point it at something higher. Your business, feel your ambition. Your body, sculpt it into a weapon. Your mission, grind with fire in your chest. Your art, pour that energy into your craft. Your empire, build what no one else dares to build. This is what the greats did, the real legends, the misunderstood masterminds. Nikola Tesla, single-minded in pursuit of innovation. Leonardo da Vinci, desire turned into a brilliance across every field. Napoleon Bonaparte, raw hunger redirected into conquest in history. They didn't destroy their desire, they dominated it. They didn't kill their fire, they channeled it. And when you do that, when you stop leaking energy, when you stop scattering your power into cheap thrills, and you start to glow from the inside out, Because sexual energy, when focused, becomes magnetism. It becomes drive. It becomes swagger. It becomes a field around you that people can feel. You don't have to speak it. You don't have to explain it. People just sense it. This man is different. Your posture changes. Your voice deepens. Your eyes sharpen. Your work ethic explodes. You stop chasing and start attracting. You stop begging for attention and start commanding respect. This is not fantasy. This is not hype. This is real ancient power, rediscovered in a modern world. The men who build legacies, the men who become legends, aren't the ones who had no urges. They were the ones who mastered them, who wielded them, who bent desire into discipline, and turn that discipline into destiny. And don't run from your hunger. Don't hate your desire. Honor it, harness it, and then transmute it. You were born with the fire. Now it's time to forge it into something unbreakable. This is the secret weapon. Not suppression, not shame, but focus, force. And that force is already inside you. As a man, you were never meant to chase pleasure or women. You were meant to build something powerful. Make them chase your name. You have a choice, like every other man. Scrolling, swiping, chasing short-term highs, and forgetting long-term greatness. Living for Friday nights, wasting weekends, empty inside, but too numb to admit it. Too distracted to change. Or you become dangerous, not with your fists, not with fake bravado, but with discipline, with vision, with clarity of purpose that shakes rooms when you enter them. You can master your mind, control your impulses, transcend the noise, and build a life that speaks so loudly you don't need to. Because when you stop chasing women and start building yourself, everything changes. You become a man worth knowing, worth following, worth remembering. You see, your power was never in how many numbers you could collect. It was never in how many women you can impress. It's how many lives you could change, how much legacy you could leave behind, how deeply you can impact the world. But first, conquering yourself. That's the shift. That's the transformation from lust to legacy. It starts with your energy. Your sexual energy is not a weakness. It's your nuclear fuel. And every time you hold it, every time you channel it into your mission, you sharpen, you evolve, you elevate. Your hunger becomes hustle. Your lust becomes leadership. Your cravings become clarity. You stop moving like a boy and start walking like a king. You stop asking for attention and start commanding your respect. Because the man who masters his sexual energy is the man who becomes unshakable, unstoppable, unignorable. Not because he forced the world to see him, but because he became a man the world couldn't ignore. So hold your energy, direct your focus, build your vision, and don't just live for the moment. Live for the name you'll leave behind. Because one day, long after you're gone, they won't remember what you chased. They'll remember what you created.